Welcome to this presentation. I'm Dada Veda Pragyananda. People call me Dada Veda. Doesn't matter, whatever you like. It's just plain Dada is okay too. So today I'm doing a presentation which is called, as you see on the screen, it says Chakras and Kundalini, but it's another alternative name for this is Chakras and the Subtle Anatomy of Yoga. And this corresponds to one of the chapters in my book, The Wisdom of Tantra, and I'm in the process of making a video, a slideshow presentation for each one of these chapters in the book. So this is the chapter which goes through the whole idea of the chakras and what the relationship is to the mind and the body. So let's go through it and let's see what's inside. So the early tantric yogis observed through the meditation the insides of their bodies. And what they observed was that along the backbone of the body there's a nerve which is crisscrossed by two other subtle nerves. And the nerve running up the center is called the Sushumna, and the nerve on the left side is called the Ida, and the nerve on the right side is called Pingala. So here is a present. So wherever the two nerves cross over the central Sushumna, there's a special area called a chakra. So there are two spellings of chakra in this slideshow. The transliteration that we use in our Ananda Marga system is with just the C-A-K-R-A, because the C has the cha sound in it. But in the chakra has already crept into the English language and with the CH, but it's chakra is how it's pronounced. So wherever these two nerves cross the central column, that's the place where the chakra lies. So now we're going to look at, well, what do these chakras do and what is their role in the whole process of yoga. So the chakras are important points of the body, because the first 5 chakras control the fundamental factors, solid, liquid, luminous, and aerial. And these are the factors that compose the body. And also the chakras are associated with the 5 basic layers of the mind. In fact, Anandamurti, which is my guru, defines chakras as the different seats of the mind for controlling the fundamental factors. So the mind has certain places, and from those places, it's possible for the mind to control whether it be the solid, the liquid, the luminous factor, the ethereal factor, the things which make up our body. The mind has a possibility to control them. So that's what yoga is all about. The yogi wants to control the body and not the other way around. So the chakras are very key points here in this process. And the chakras are associated also with the glands, which secrete hormones that affect mind and body. And the first 6 chakras are linked with glands that control 50 basic propensities. And each of the petals in these chakras, which we're going to look at, is the controlling point for one propensity. In Sanskrit, a mental propensity is called vritti. Vritti. So we have many vrittis, many different propensities, and the yogi wants to get control of these propensities. And the process of controlling all the chakras and propensities was invented by a yogi named Ashtavakra over 2,000 years ago. And he wrote a book called Ashtavakra Samhita. And he was a great saint, and he called this process Rajadiraj Yoga. So you've heard of Raja Yoga, it means the yoga of kings. Rajadiraj Yoga is the king of the kings. So this is the ultimate yoga, is this process of controlling the vrittis by the understanding and the use of the chakras. So let's go through this whole process now. And one thing before I go on to that, what the idea here is that the human body, and I'm going to mention it in the next slideshow also, but is like the yogis used to say it's like a chariot, and the chariot has horses. So the horses represent the organs, the sensory faculties. So, but the chariot has a driver, and in the driver there's a seat, the one who's controlling the chariot. That's what a discriminating mind is. So the mind should be controlling the horses. But sometimes if the horses get out of control, then the mind can't do anything. So we're going to look at the process of how the mind can assert its control over the body. So the first chakra is called the Múládhára Cakra, and it's located at the base of the spine. And you can see a picture here. It has a golden square in the center, and it has petals of like a reddish petal with a kind of a golden letters on it. And I'll explain what those letters are. And each of the petals stands for a certain vritti. So here the first one is Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So now we'll go through them, and then you'll see what they are. And these are there's sounds. They're seed sounds of each chakra, of each petal. And this is the seed. This is called lung. And this is called the bija mantra of that chakra, the bija sound, the seed sound. And these are the sounds of the petal. These are also called acoustic roots. These are the root sounds. So the first chakra, located in the first vertebrae of the spinal column, is called Múládhára, and it means the fundamental base. And the first chakra is the controlling point of the solid factor in the human body, the solid factor. This chakra is also associated with the conscious mind, the Kamamaya Kosha. And the bija mantra is lung. It's written L-A-M with a uchi or a diacritical mark on the M, but we pronounce it lung, lung. And this chakra has the petals, which I showed you in the beginning. There are 4 basic petals, and these control, or these petals control some of the basic longings that make up a human being. So first is Dharma, which is psycho-spiritual longing. Second is Artha, psychic longing. Kama, physical desire, physical longing. And Moksha, which is spiritual longing. So these are I like to call this chakra like one of the bookends of the system, because it has the basic stuff, and then when we get to one of the other chakras near the end, it also has some very basic things. So this is the chakra. This is the first chakra. So it controls, remember, it controls the solid factor, and it's associated with the conscious mind. Then we go to the second. It's called Svadhisthana Cakra, and it has a crescent in the center of it, milky white crescent, and it has red petals and then a lighter red letters in each petal, which are the sounds of each one, like ba, ba, ma, ya, ra, la. So this is it. And the seed bija is wang. So the second chakra is located on the spinal column, on a level plane with the root of the sex organ. And this chakra is called Svadhisthana, and its name means the seat of my own energy. And this chakra controls the liquid factor in the body and is associated with the subconscious mind, or the Manomaya Kosha. And in a later video, I think it's the next one in the series, we're going to look at the layers of the mind. And the organs, the ovaries and testes, are physical glands which are associated with this chakra. And the bija mantra is Wang. The V is pronounced like a W, Wang. And the M is, once again, is the Ung sound, M diacritical mark, is Wang. So we had the first chakra was Lung, this is Wang. So this chakra, as we saw, has a different petals. Each petal controls a certain vritti or propensity. So the first one is called Avagya, means indifference. And then is Murcha, psychic stupa, or lack of common sense. Prashraya, indulgence. Avishvasa, lack of confidence. Sarvanasha, the thought of sure annihilation. The word is blocked out here. And Krurata, cruelty. So these are propensities that are located in the second chakra. Then we come to the third chakra. And the third chakra has a red triangle in the middle. And it has petals of gray petals, and it has light blue sounds there, like da, da, na, na, ta, ta, da, da, na, pa, pa. These are the sounds. And now we'll go into what they stand for. So the third chakra is located on the spine, on a plane level with the navel. And this chakra is called Manipura, and it means the treasure house of the devotee. Manipura. So Mani means a jewel. So it's the treasure house of the devotee. And inside the circular area is a triangle with a red color. The circular area is surrounded by 10 petals. And this chakra controls the luminous, or the fire factor, and is associated with the first layer of the conscious mind, which is called Atimanasa Kosha. And the 10 petals of the third chakra govern the following propensities. Laja means shyness or shame. Pishanata, sadistic tendency. Irsha, envy or jealousy, you can say. Susupti, static state or sleepiness. Vishada, melancholy. Kashaya, peevishness. Trishna, yearning for acquisition. Moha, infatuation. Grina, hatred. Bhaya, fear. So you can see, like when you look at the chakras, especially this one, you see a lot of the things which people are working to overcome. Their root is in the chakra, and that's why there are certain asanas. If you do, like for instance, if someone has a fear of public speaking, that's because this shyness is maybe developed in that person, and bhaya or fear is also there. So if someone there are certain asanas that work on this third chakra, that those asanas can help the person, those yoga postures can help the person to balance the glands and to get control over those factors. If someone is excessively melancholy, some certain yoga asanas may be helpful to overcome that. So this is the value of knowing what is controlled by which propensities are found in the different chakras. And this Manipura chakra, there are glands, and the adrenal gland and the pancreas are associated with this chakra. And this is also important when we use yoga as a tool, as a means to overcome physical maladies, physical problems. And the bija mantra, the sound which is right in the center of the chakra, is rung. Rung. So it's lung was the first chakra, wang, second chakra, rung is the bija mantra, the seed mantra, the seed sound for this particular chakra. And then we come to the Anáhata Cakra. People sometimes call this the heart center because it's located in the center of the chest. And there's a hexagon in this chakra. So the hexagon is there. And it has 12 petals, and they have different propensities, and it has the color of the petals are kind of a light red, and the sounds are dark red. These are really the authentic colors. You'll find many books, but those colors are not authentic. These are really the authentic colors which the advanced yogis used to use in their meditation. And this is the bija sound is jung. So the fourth chakra is located on the spine in a plane with the center of the chest. The fourth chakra is known as Anáhata, which means the unstruck holy sound. And it's usually, often in common parlance, it's called the heart center or heart chakra. And within the circular area of the chakra is a hexagon shape with a smoky gray-green color. And the circular area is surrounded by 12 petals. So these 12 petals, we're going to look at it, and we'll look at it in the next slide. The chakra controls the aerial or gaseous factor of the human body, as well as the second is associated with the second layer of the superconscious mind, the Jnana-maya kosha. And the gland which is associated is the thymus gland. And the bija mantra is jung, written with a Y, but it's pronounced jung. In Sanskrit, when a Y comes at the beginning of a word, it should be pronounced with a J sound. So actually, even the word yoga really should be yoga. But anyway, everyone has already learned it as yoga, so we're not going to trouble you with that. And this chakra controls 12 petals. Asha, hope. That's why when someone feels a blow to their hope, they hold their hand on the chest here. Asha, chinta, worry. Chesta, effort. Mamata, mindness. You feel love. When you feel love for a certain thing, you feel in mindness. Even if you have your favorite shirt, you have a certain, you don't want to part with it. It's mindness, your love for it. Damba means vanity. Viveka, conscience or discrimination, just to be able to discriminate between what's right and what's wrong. Vikrata, mental numbness due to fear. Ahankara, ego. Lolata, avarice. Kapatata, hypocrisy. Vitarka, argumentative to the mentativeness to the point of exhaustion. If you ever had someone who just completely argues and argues and argues and you get exhausted by it, that's because of this vritti or the propensity, vitarka. And anutapa means repentance, when you have a feeling that, oh, I did something wrong, I have to repent. So you see, this heart chakra, it's a mixed bag. There are certain things which are very wonderful things, but then there are also, you have ego is there, and damba, vanity. So each of the chakras is no chakra is pure of, only good things. It's a mixed bag. And the idea of yoga is to balance all of these vrittis, and so they don't disturb you, and to even sometimes to bring out the best of these vrittis, so that they help you, not hinder you. Then we get to the Vishuddha Cakra. Vishuddha Cakra, you see this in this, there's no really form there, and inside the circle is not any particular form, and it's multicolored because there are no colors there in the Vishuddha Cakra. And the roots bija sound is hung. We'll get to that in the next slide. So the Vishuddha Cakra is located in the throat, and its name means spotless purity. Inside the circular area, there is no particular form or fixed color. Rather, there are many points of various colors. So in that diagram that we couldn't picture the points, but there are various colors and points. And this chakra controls the ethereal factor, the medium through which sound travels. And it's associated with the third layer of the superconscious mind, Hiranmaya Kosha. And it has petals, and the petals govern certain propensities, and these propensities, this chakra controls, or is the root that controls the ethereal factor, and that's where sound goes. So these are all sounds here in this. So the first one is Sadaja, means sound of the peacock. Rishabha, sound of the bull. Gandhara, sound of goat. Madhyama, sound of deer. Panchama, sound of cuckoo. Dvaivata, sound of donkey. Nishada, sound of elephant. I'm sorry, there's a misspelling there. Sound of elephant. And Om, the acoustic root of creation, preservation, destruction. The primordial sound is in this chakra, the Om sound. There's some more, we're not finished. Hum, the sound of arousing the Kundalini. Fat, putting theory into practice. Valsat, expression of mundane knowledge. Vasat, welfare in the subtler sphere. Swaha, performing noble actions. Nama, surrender to the Supreme. Visha, repulsive expression. Amrita, sweet expression. So once again, it's a mix. Some things are good, some things not so good. But the yogi has to learn how to put all of them into balance. And this chakra is also associated with the thyroid, and the parathyroid glands are associated with the Vishuddha Cakra. And the bija mantra is Hung, H-A-M, with a diacritical mark, the Uchi, and it's pronounced Hung. And then we come to the Agya Chakra. It's the sixth chakra, if you count, keeping score now. Sixth chakra, and it's located between the two eyes. Agya Chakra. And the root sound is tongue. So the sixth chakra is located in the point between the eyebrows. Its Sanskrit name means this Agya. So a lot of times people mispronounce it, Ajna, but it's Agya. It means authority, command, and unlimited power. And this chakra is, usually it's known as the third eye. And there's no form or fundamental factor associated with the Agya Chakra. The chakra is beyond form and color. And it has two petals, which are associated with mundane knowledge on the left, on the right, and spiritual knowledge on the left. So mundane knowledge is apara, and the spiritual knowledge is called para. And this chakra is the seat or controlling point of the mind. It is an important concentration point in meditation and advanced yogic practices. And the pituitary gland is associated with this chakra. And the bija mantra is tongue, tongue. Then last chakra, almost last chakra, you'll see. We have a surprise for you. Sahasrara Cakra. It means the chakra of a thousand petals. So actually there was no way really to depict it in the drawing. So some people draw it like this. I don't know, I haven't ever counted this diagram if there are 1,000 in this one. But the yogis visualize 1,000 petals in this. So this chakra is located at the crown of the head and is visualized as a lotus with 1,000 petals. There are 1,000 petals because the chakra controls all possible human expression. So we saw in the first 6 chakras there are 50 different petals, and each one has a sound, and each one has a propensity. So these propensities can function internally and externally, so 50 times 2, and in 10 different directions. Times 10 equals 1,000. So that's why we say it governs 1,000 different human expressions. And the pineal gland is the physical gland associated with the Sahasrara Cakra. See, here's a surprise. There are, even though in all the books of yoga, you're going to see basically seven chakras, but there are 2 more which in our tantric meditation we use. One is called the Guru Chakra, and this is located just beneath the crown, like in the, at the top of the skull, but just underneath is there. And it's called Guru Chakra, and is used in advanced meditation. And then there's another chakra, Latent Chakra, and this is spread out on the tip of the nose, back of the throat, under the tongue, and also different on the tip of the tongue also is there. It's part of the tongue, so it's spread out over the tongue and then nose and the throat. Okay, so now we move on. And it's used in very advanced meditation practices. So now is another part of the mystery of the subtle anatomy. There's something called the Kundalini, which is called the latent divine energy. So Kundalini is called the sleeping divine energy of an individual living being. And the yogis say that it looks like a coiled snake lying dormant in the first vertebrae of the spinal cord. And when the Kundalini, or it's also called Kula Kundalini, is awakened by the repetition of an effective mantra, it travels up the subtle nerve in the spinal column, the Sushumna, and it goes through the different chakras. And as it goes through the different chakras, the yogi experiences different degrees of proximity to the Supreme Consciousness. So we're going to look at that process. So the inner spirit, this is a quote from Sri Sri Anandamurti, the inner spirit of raising the Kula Kundalini is for one to control the propensities and the seed sounds of the different glands, and then to suspend oneself in the cosmic nucleus, so-called Paramashiva, whose rank is beyond the scope of all instincts and sounds. So really this is the process of yoga is to get control of all these different propensities which are in the chakras, and all the seed sounds and the glands, everything, and then just to merge our individual consciousness with the cosmic consciousness. And that merger, that union, that's what yoga is all about. So this raising of the Kundalini is the is the process of really completing yoga. So there's another quote. The jiva, or unit being, has its origin in Shiva, or cosmic being. And the jiva has the potentiality to merge again in Shiva. What separates the two are the bandhanas, or bondages, or the pashas, or fetters, which in the human body are represented by the chakras. So we have different obstacles. Okay, I'm talking now, but I'll go back to the quote. As soon as these chakras are pierced and these bandhanas broken, the jiva becomes Shiva. So that's our job, is to break through the bondages. And that breaking through is working when the Kundalini rises and goes through the different bondages. And that what happens then is that when you have no more bondage, you don't have no more obstacle, then your nature merges with the cosmic consciousness, and that leads to extreme bliss. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next slide. So there are, the Kundalini can rise, there are 6 stages of realization, but these are really very advanced things. Even I've been meditating 50 years, I didn't feel these things. It's not so easy. It's not so easy, but it exists. Some people experience this, so we have to look at it. There are 6 stages of realization as the Kundalini rises. So here, what happens in the first chakra, if the Kundalini will rise past the first chakra, when meditation consists in concentration on this chakra, the feeling that accompanies the mastery of the chakra is called salokya. And this feeling that the jiva, that's the individual, is not alone, but the Lord is with the person, is a sign that the Múládhára Cakra has been crossed. So let's say if you get this feeling that, my Lord is with me, then it's a sign that this chakra has been crossed. And the color visible here is the golden yellow of earth. And there's a sound. So people sometimes hear internal sounds. It's the tick, tick, tick of the cricket. So this is the sound of this chakra. If you can get success in this chakra, you might hear a cricket. And the second chakra, the feeling crossing at the next higher chakra, the Svadhisthana, that feeling that you get is called samipya. Salokya was in the first one. That means you're in the same world as the Lord. Samipya means there's a feeling of nearness, so you feel near to God. And the sound, there's a sound of payala bells, like in Indian dance. There's a jingle, jingle, jingle. That's the dancer moves their feet because there's certain bells affixed to the feet. So if you hear those jingle, 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 and then you start to you feel nearer to the Supreme Consciousness, that's a symbol or it's an indication that you've crossed the second chakra. The third chakra, the crossing of the Manipura, produces the feeling of close touch, and this is called sayujya. You feeling you're in touch, you're touching the Lord. And the sound is like a sweet flute. The color is red, and the shape is triangular. This is what happens when you cross the third chakra. And the fourth chakra. When the Anáhata Cakra is crossed, the shape there you'll see is hexagonal or circular. There's a hexagon in the center of the chest. It's a hexagon or circular. The color is first blue and then greenish, and the sound resembles that of a gong, or at times that of the sea. And the feeling is sarupya. You feel the same as the Lord, as the God. So it starts with you feeling in the same world, and then you're feeling nearer, and you're touching, and then you feel you're just the same. So these are deeper feelings of intensity, of meditation. That's what's going on in these chakras. And then you reach the 5th chakra. So the crossing of the Vishuddha Cakra produces the feeling of Sarsti, the feeling, I am he. I am he. There's no particular shape, and there's a mixture of various colors. The earliest sounds of bell, flute, and sea develop into the beginning of the sound Om, and this becomes clearer and clearer until the full-fledged Om sound comes at last. So you start off with the sounds of the other chakras, and then it just emerges into the Om sound. So this is what happens as you cross the 5th chakra. And then the 6th chakra. When the Agya chakra at the Trikuti, this third eye port is also called Trikuti, means 3 hills, is crossed, there is no feeling of I or he, but only a feeling of you, who thou art. The remaining feeling is now simply of oneness, and this feeling is called Kevalya, and there is no sound and there is no color, because there is no expression. And the last stage is when the Kundalini comes here. This is the crown of the head. The divinity, the sleeping divinity, is to be exalted to that point. So the Kundalini has to be exalted to that point, to the controlling point of the pineal gland. And there is the final stage of Samadhi. That final stage of Samadhi is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi in yoga. And also another name is Kaivalya in Tantra. In Sanskrit, Kaivalya means only. Kevala means only. And the noun of Kevala is Kaivalya. So that is quickly, we went through, it's 37 minutes or something like that. But that's the subtle anatomy of yoga. So basically what we have there, we have the nerves, Ida, the Pingala, the Sushumna, and we have these chakras. The chakras are the places where the different propensities or vrittis are. And they also represent kind of bondages or obstacles. And the idea of yoga is to go through these obstacles and then to reach the top, to reach where the just pure consciousness is. We merge individual consciousness with cosmic consciousness. But what I've mentioned here, I mentioned a lot of things here. It's kind of difficult. It's not just easygoing thing. So it takes a long time to do it. But this is the map of what is going on. And if you understand the chakras very well, it will help you in your yoga practice. And later on, it will help you in your meditation practice, because some of the advanced practices of meditation will require you to know something about the chakras. So that's all. And I have some suggested reading. There's a book called Yoga Psychology. Cure Yourself with Yoga. A lot of the things of this presentation were based on that. And The Wisdom of Yoga, which is it's called The Wisdom of Tantra now. It's been revised. The Wisdom of Tantra. And Discourses on Tantra, Parts 1 and 2 by Sri Anandamurti. And they're available at the pathofbliss.com. pathofbliss.com, and you go to the bookstore section. Or you can visit my website and contact me there, dadaveda.com. I hope you can see it. It's a little bit here. It's a Path of Bliss, and this is dadaveda.com. And one more thing, I have just another thing. Everybody does it, so I have to also do it. So you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. And one of the advantages of if you subscribe and you also ring the bell, then you'll be notified when when I do another video, because that's important. So you want to get all the videos in this series of the Wisdom of Tantra. So this is, I believe it's the 4th one, and the next one is going to be called The Layers of the Mind. It's a very fascinating one, so you don't want to miss that. So the best thing to do is subscribe to the channel, and then you get notification. And if you go over to my website, dadaveda.com, then there's a mailing list there. You can also sign up, and you get notification of different kind of new things that is going on. So I thank you for going through this. I did it very fast. It's not it's a huge topic, but it's done quickly. It's just to give you a basic guide, and later you can go further in depth with these things. So I'm going to leave you now with the yogi greeting. It's Namaskar. It means I salute the divinity within you with all the divine charms of my mind and the love and cordiality of my heart. And I hope that you'll be back when we do another video. Thank you.